In addition to the students who've been initiated, the law school has the privilege of inducting one of our graduates as an honorary member of the Order of the Coif. Our Coif inductee this year is a person who's distinguished himself in the profession, within the community, on behalf of his alma mater. Bob Bailey will introduce this year's inductee, Michael Melton.
This is really an honor for me to do this. I've known Michael for 25 years. And if Horatio Alger were writing today, Mike Melton would be ideal fodder for his next Rags to Riches book. Michael began his life as one of 4 children in a single mother home in a rough Kansas City neighborhood with poor public schools. Michael has lived the American dream, going from a high school janitor. He worked as a janitor in high school to help support his family, to a highly regarded and much sought after intellectual property attorney, and finally as a very successful entrepreneur. So what has propelled Michael to such heights, starting from such depths? First, it's his confidence and his trust in himself that he could handle any matter that was presented to him. He would set a goal. He set a goal to become chief patent counsel by the age of 30. This forced him to find out what skills and knowledge he would need to make it happen, and he did. While being a janitor in high school, he started working with, he was doing it at NOAA, the National Atmospheric Agency, and he started working with the chemists and engineers at NOAA. And they convinced him that he should go to the University of Missouri and get into the engineering department. He didn't know anything about engineering, but he did that. And he realized that I can do this, and I can become chief patent counsel by the age of 30. He has faith in people, and his understanding of human nature has helped him to become a manager of attorneys in many firms that he's worked at, the companies that he's worked at, and later as the manager of his employees. He has learned to trust what he believes to be true. Second, although Michael did not have any positive male role models in his youth, he did have television characters like James Kirk, James Bond, and James West. These television role models said what they meant and did what they said that they would do. Seeing how independent and strong these men were inspired Michael to adopt a similar model about staying true to his word and doing what he had to do despite all odds to succeed. Third, Michael chose to excel through hard work and by grasping an opportunity. For instance, when the opportunity to become an entrepreneur presented itself, Michael took the plunge with a $300,000 investment. Today, due to hard work, perseverance, and determination, he has over 20 Taco Bells and 7 Five Guys and Fries in the Atlanta area. This former janitor now employs over 500 employees. But Michael has not forgotten where he came from. Although he is involved in many, many civic organizations, one is particularly dear to him. Michael is president of 100 Black Men of Washington, D.C. Michael gives freely of his time and resources to help improve the quality of life of African Americans in the District of Columbia by focusing on issues of health and wellness, economic empowerment, education, and mentoring. Michael says that one kind word in a few hours of your time each month could be the fuel to propel one of DC's many young men onto a path of greatness. I was about to tell you finally here, but thanks to Herb Hardwick, I have a story that I want to tell you before I say finally. Herb sent me this yesterday or today. In September 2010, Herb turned 50. In an effort to give a surprise 50th birthday party, his family planned a party for August 5th, 2010. It was also the 25th birthday of Spencer, his oldest son. To further complicate things, Herb was hospitalized 2 days before the party due to pains in his abdominal area. My family had gone to great lengths to plan the surprise party. Over 300 people were going to be in attendance. All of my family and friends were told to keep quiet, and they did. While hospitalized, Michael, along with friends and colleagues, came and paid a visit. We were all sitting in the hospital room, and Mike said, "So I guess we're going to be released for the big, you're going to be released for the big party on Saturday." And I looked at him, Herb looked at him, and said, "What party?" And then one of my other friends said, "He means the party that's being planned for your son's 21st birthday celebration." Still perplexed, Herb said, "Oh, okay." When his wife, Lisa, who's also here, learned of Mike's gaffe, she was mortified. Needless to say, no matter how smart Mike Melton might be, he cannot keep a secret. Be well advised and proceed cautiously as to what you tell Mike. So, a few quick fun facts about Michael, and then I'll turn it over to him. Some of you know that Michael is an inattentive driver, saying the least, because he's always pondering other matters. So much so that during his 3-year assignment in Europe with Texas Instruments, they forbid him to drive in England or any other country that drives on the left. It is my great honor to introduce to you my good friend, Mike Melton, as this year's recipient of the Honorary Order of the Coif.
Thank you, everyone. This is truly a great honor for me, and I've been getting a little bit emotional as Bob was speaking. Bob was sort of like my best friend when I was in college, and I guess that means it shows how much of an introvert I really was. Yes, I'm particularly honored because what they say, I didn't know anyone was watching, I didn't know anyone was caring. Not so much because I wasn't doing great work as an attorney, but because I was doing the work as a patent attorney. A field so boring that the various federal district appeals courts got together and said, "Can we create a new circuit court just to handle the patent? We don't want to deal with it anymore." And I've also been told it's the only thing that bores tax lawyers. Now as Bob said, I grew up on the bad side of Kansas City, Missouri. And when I go back there, it amazes me to see that every school I attended, grade school, middle school, high school, has been closed down, and the school district is maybe essentially decertified. But instead of taking the path of trade school, military, or sports, the people at NOAA said, "Why don't you give engineering a try?" And they told me it's because, not because you haven't learned anything before, it's not an indication of your aptitude. And if you work hard and focus, you can do this. And I believe them. And that is the part about the faith. So I have to give a big congratulations to the University of Missouri School of Engineering, because without that, I may just have been another lawyer when I graduated. But I graduated into a field that in 1984, I believe I was the only engineer at the law school and the only one talking about patent law. And when I graduated, I realized that, pretty much no one else knew much about patent law either. So I had the opportunity to distinguish myself by deciding that is what I wanted to do. I picked a specialty that was new. No one was looking much in it. And I decided I'm going to learn everything I can about this, and I'm going to do it. And of course, we've heard everyone say that I wouldn't have been able to do that except for the outstanding education that I received at Missouri Law School. And it truly was. It took me from my engineering focus, there is only one answer, we have to get to it, to thinking on both sides of an issue, or sometimes three sides, depending on how many defendants there may be, and just put it all together. And I'm so glad to have attended this school and have spent the years I did here, and I thank you for this honor.